And she goes, and then I got this letter from the city of Fort Worth saying cease and desist right now, doing your Airbnb, or we're going to start charging you $2,000 a day. She got the letter, and she put it on there, took a picture of it. And she said, yeah, it's been a bad day for me. And the people were like, how did they find you? You know, that's of course, everybody's wondering how the hell they find you. And what she said, you know, her neighbors, they either don't know or they're cool with it. They never complained one time. But she had an ex-cleaner that she used to use that she fired. She didn't, you know, I guess wasn't doing a good job, had fallen out with. And she believes that cleaner went to the authorities, told her, hey, this chick's doing Airbnb, and got her shut down.
In Fort Worth?
Fort Worth, funky town.
Funky town. It's always been no-go over there.
But it's always been a no-go, but they've never enforced it. We know plenty of people that Airbnb in Fort Worth.
Yeah, you can pull up an Airbnb in Fort Worth pretty quick.
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode of Live,
Let, Thrive. You did it backwards this time. Kind of threw me off. What's up, everybody in Airbnb land, or what are the VRBO, or short-term rental land? We are here to talk the as short-term rental, long-term rental, real estate, all kinds of stuff, innovation, whatever comes to our minds. That's what we're gonna do.
Our life. Yeah, man, we got a lot of. Man, it's actually been a while since we recorded, so we got a lot to talk about. What episode is this?
We are on episode 87 of your favorite podcast in the world.
Got it. Let's keep it moving, man. So first off, we're in a new area here?
Yeah, we're in the new pod, I guess you call it a pod room, pod zone, pod something, in my new house. I just purchased a new house. I mentioned it on the last episode. So, I got a new house. We got a new house, and we're very excited about that. Moving in, stuff's everywhere, but got this huge, big old, I guess it's an entertainment room, or what do they call it?
Man cave?
It could be a man cave, yeah. And it has plugs and all kinds of stuff on the ground, so you could set up a home studio kind of stuff.
Got the home studio popping off.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make it into the pod room, and I'm sure my wife will put crap in here too. But it's all good, man. How you been?
Man, good. Under the weather, but back at it. Man, just actually trying to get this refi finished so I can get me another house like this. Got the swimming pool in the back, so yeah, I'm trying to be like Stevie Stacks.
So how's the refi going?
Almost done. It'll be done on the 10th. Closing on the 10th, hopefully. Yeah, man, they sent me some emails that I didn't get, so I had to kind of go off on the little mortgage lady, man. And then, so I finally got all the documents over to her, so on the 10th we should be closed. That's next Friday, so.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Definitely, man. Congratulations to you, man. I like this crib, man.
Oh, thank you.
This is going to be the spot in the summertime, that swimming pool in the back.
It is. I told you that's like always been a dream of mine to have a swimming pool, and we got an in-ground swimming pool. Yeah. No offense to the above grounders, but I just
above grounders.
When I grew up, we had one, and it was a piece of crap. It leaked. It had you could feel the grass under your feet, kind of crap. It was bad, and it lasted maybe part of a summer, and then it just went to crap. So, anyways. I've always told myself if I, when I grow up, I'm gonna have a swimming pool. Yeah. One of my goals, like in high school, going back to high school, was to have, just to own a house. Yeah. I was like, man, I just want to own a house. That was like my biggest goal, and luckily, I was, I had to wait till after college, and a few years later, and I finally got a house. Yeah. I wish, knowing what I know now, I never went to college and just started buying houses right away when I was like 19 years old, man. Yeah. Hindsight is what it is. But I got a degree, which I don't do nothing with, and I went to student loan debt, and but it's everybody has their own journey.
Yeah, definitely. You ain't got student loan debt, man.
Yeah, a little bit. I got a little bit.
Their houses pay for that. That's what they're there for, man. Refi one of them, student loan debt gone.
I could knock it out right now, but then I'm thinking, man, I'd rather use that money to get another house. It's that whole.
No doubt.
It's that whole chicken and the egg thing. Or I don't know. I might be saying it wrong. But anyways, we got a lot of topics today. This is we titled it. We gave it a really a funny title to me. I think it's kind of funny, kind of real in a way. It's I titled it episode 87, Airbnb Underground. The resistance is now. So.
Man, yeah, because since the city of Arlington is shut down on us.
Yeah.
Claimed they had 279 hosts' information, supposedly.
Whew.
How they got that, I don't know.
Well, probably most of them just gave it to them, trying to give them the hot taxes.
279 people, though?
279
They
people.
probably did, though. You're right. They probably did.
Here's what I had mentioned on the previous episode that they're starting a lawsuit against the city of Arlington in order to to stop them from banning Airbnb, and I wanted to help out. Wanted to give some money, help out, and they said, well, give us your property and then go pay the hot tax, and we'll put you in the class action lawsuit. And only people that pay the hot tax and give up their address will be on that lawsuit, right? And I was like, why is that?
Well, yeah, especially if I'm throwing money at it.
Yeah, and he said the only houses that will be protected are the ones that pay the hot tax and tell them where they are. I'm like, I started thinking about that. First of all, I don't do, and I've never done Airbnb in Arlington. I thought about it before, but this house that this last house we moved from, that was my whole goal the whole time. I was going to move out of that house in a year, get another house, and then Airbnb the heck out of it. It's right up from the stadiums and stuff. And but that went to shit when they did the ban. And luckily, I have some long-term corporate renters in there. Yeah. Shout out to Tracy. Thanks, Tracy, for sending them my way. And so in order to be, I said, well, I don't, why would I pay hot tax? I don't do Airbnb in the city, first of all. And second of all, I don't really want to put a red flag or put a target on my home for harassment from the police. Because Arlington's sending out the cops, man. They ain't joking around.
Oh, no. They are, but to whose house? I mean, yeah, I guess if you did pay the hot tax, yeah, you'd be putting that flag up there because they'd have shown, hey, if we have your information, we'll go ahead and roll up on you. See, but that's why I kind of, I'm with you, play the back man, like, hey, I ain't about to just give them information voluntarily. But yeah, I'm not with putting my address and stuff on, giving my address away freely. Nah, I'm good on that, man. I'm probably with you on that. But yeah. I think they're kind of missing out on money doing that. Because, like, if you're willing to put up money and somebody's willing to put up money and they ain't willing to give up their address, you know what I mean? You miss some money doing that.
Man, that's what's frustrating about Arlington. It's like, there's like no, and people are doing all these studies and stuff. There's no real correlation with Airbnbs taking away money from hotels. First of all, Arlington didn't have very many hotels to begin with. Now they're coming, and it's just a big coincidence they want to get rid of all the Airbnb competition, right, with air quotes. But there's been study after study. I listen to Jasper Rivers' show, Get Paid for Your Pad, great podcast, and that everybody's been doing better. I mean, it's a booming economy, first of all. Yeah, hotels are doing really good. Airbnbs are doing really good. It's not like all of a sudden the hotels occupancy went to half or something because a lot of people are Airbnb-ing. Yeah. And so, anyways, if the city of Arlington can make a shitload of money off getting these taxes from people, doing Airbnb in the city, they're just so, I don't know. I don't freaking know, dude.
I mean, it might be somebody in somebody's pocket, in the city's pocket. I don't know, but it is what it is. I mean, I still say sit back, see how they're going to enforce it, because I doubt they can enforce that, you know what I mean? Especially if even if you had somebody like if you put your name on a list, right? What's going to differentiate, and you start doing Airbnb, what's going to differentiate you from the people, from the names on that list? Like, how are they going to know who's who? You see what I'm saying? To enforce their ban. So, I mean, hey, I think the people who gave up their information, yeah, you got a red target on your back. I don't know. People don't know what I'm doing.
Unless you get snitched on, right?
Yeah, unless you get snitched on. But.
And someone put a post in the Astra group, Arlington Short-Term Rental Alliance.
Yeah.
This isn't the funny one. This is the one where the lady's saying, you know, she had a bad day, her best friend died. She was saying all these things that happened to her that day. And she goes, and then I got this letter from the city of Fort Worth saying cease and desist right now, doing your Airbnb, or we're going to start charging you $2,000 a day. She got the letter, and she put it on there, took a picture of it. And she said, yeah, it's been a bad day for me. And the people were like, how did they find you? You know, that's, of course, everybody's wondering how the hell they find you. And what she said, you know, her neighbors, they either don't know or they're cool with it. They never complained one time. But she had an ex-cleaner that she used to use that she fired. She didn't, you know, I guess wasn't doing a good job, had a falling out with. And she believes that cleaner went to the authorities, told her, hey, this chick's doing Airbnb, and got her shut down.
In Fort Worth?
Fort Worth, funky town.
Funky town. It's always been no-go over there.
But it's always been a no-go, but they've never enforced it. We know plenty of people that Airbnb in Fort Worth.
Yeah, you can pull up an Airbnb in Fort Worth pretty quick.
Yeah. So...
But I'm shocked. Like, when I get on Airbnb, it's like some people at Airbnb in Fort Worth, like, their whole, you know, all their information's up there. First name, last name, where they work, all that. I'll be like, dang. Like, they act like it ain't banned over there. I mean, you know, so.
Yeah, that's what the guy that's running the law, you know, heading up the lawsuit. I told you about that. I asked him, you know, well, you mentioned that they're gonna, you know, they know how to find people, you know, they got their ways, and I asked him exactly how, and anyways, he said, well, you know, they just look at your Airbnb thing, blah blah blah, and I was like, well, you know, first I said, do you have your picture on yours? He's like, yeah. I said, well, first of all, you should take your picture off.
Wow.
This is the guy heading it up, you know, so he's kind of. I said, first of all, take your picture off. Second of all, you should have pinned it, you know, you pin it somewhere else and whatever. That's an option too. And third of all, don't mention anything about Arlington on your listing. And I was just telling him common sense stuff. And I said, and I saw his listing. It had pictures all over the front, the side of his house and shit. I was like, first of all, take all those outside of your house pictures off. You might as well just paint a red target on your house. And and so he's like, oh yeah, he's like, oh really? Yeah, I didn't know that. And I'll do that right now. And so I guess he tried to fix it, but I was like, yeah, you know, you do these simple things. It's going to make it harder for them to find you. They might find, of course, if he goes and he heads up a lawsuit, and then, you know, they're probably going to be knocking on his door hard, right? And so he's heading up a lawsuit against the city, you know. And here's the thing, he could, like, yeah, whatever. They'll have a grace, you know, they won't be able to shut him down during the lawsuit, I guess. That's what he's saying, right? Just the people that are part of the class action lawsuit will be protected by the lawsuit. But I'm sure they'll have a big ass target on their asses, and they could come over for any little thing and say, hey, this or that, you know, you got an infraction here, you got to shut it down. You don't got a fire extinguisher, you don't got this and that. You know, they could find ways to harass them.
During this lawsuit, let's say they're open during this lawsuit, right? Wouldn't that make it easier for the people who aren't on the lawsuit to go underground? Because they're going to be focusing on, hey, we know where these people are.
That's the main reason I don't want to get on the lawsuit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm all for it. Fight the power, you know, but...
I'll go to the cookout and buy a couple hot dogs.
I'll throw some bread at it, man, but I ain't... Cookout. That's a dangerous chess move right there. But hey, if it works, you know, I'm all for it.
Man. But anyways, I'm glad that they're fighting for it, and I wish there was a way to fight for it without having to, you know, paint a big old target on your property. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So you got a crap load of topics. Anything you want to dive into right away?
Oh man, yeah, your Energy Ogre that you had me use, man. That's the truth.
You like it?
Yeah. You should have been telling everybody about that. That's a good Airbnb topic, man. If you got, I haven't got my first bill yet from like whatever because they switched me to New Power, Texas.
Yeah.
So if you're in Texas and you have whatever electric company, go to Energy Ogre, sign up with them. It's $10 a month, and they will sign you up for I think it's the cheapest plan in your area. Yeah, I think they'll sign you up for the cheapest plan in your area. They already signed me up for like New Power, Texas, man. Definitely look into that. That was dope.
Here's the concept of Energy Ogre, and a friend of mine from work told me about it. Mm-hmm. It's Ogre, O-G-R-E, Energy ogre.com, something like that. Yeah, look up Energy Ogre. And the concept is, okay, you could do this yourself. You could sit there and research every week who has the best, cheapest energy, and you could you'd have to go in there, cancel your account with whatever, let's say TXU, go in there, start another account with whatever, like I don't know, name it, Reliant, and then start them up, and then a few weeks later you can go into Reliant and then cancel that one if you find another. Of course, but the thing is, time is money, right?
Yeah.
And so it'll take you a lot of time. You got to make new passwords. You got to make new this. And they do all that shit for you. They make all your logins for you. They make all your passwords. They may do all this stuff. And they just, you just enroll in direct deposit with them, and they pay your bill. They'll keep moving you around to the cheapest rate every single month. Sometimes in the same month they'll move you around. That's how they do it. And like I said, it is, if you sit there and you research every day, maybe you could do it yourself. But you pay someone $10 a month to do all of that research and do all that stuff for you and change all your stuff. I mean, $10 a month, that's nothing, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's a Starbucks right there. And they could save you hundreds of dollars every freaking month, or, hundreds of dollars every couple months, whatever. And you never have to worry about, I've done it before, because, we live busy lives. Mm-hmm. Electric company knows that shit. They'll let your account lapse. After you've been on it, you lock in this year rate,
Man.
and then you let it lapse, and all of a sudden you get a bill for like $250, and you're like, "What the hell is this?" Oh, you went month to month. Congratulations, you're on the month to month bill.
Yeah, man. 'Cause they hit me for like $300 at my house.
Man,
yeah,
it's just hard to keep up with all this shit. So, especially if you have multiple properties.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Now I have 4 properties, and 3 of them, 2 of them are corporate, so I pay the electric on those. And then our primary, so I pay the electric. So I'm like, well, shit, that's too much to keep up with, to try to move around myself. So I'm going to just lock them all into the Ogre, let them do it. And they've been doing pretty good, man. My last bill at the Hearst house was like $33.
The Hearst house?
Yeah, the Hearst one right down the road. Yeah.
Okay. Let me know how much this one is, because it's 2 stories, so I know it's going to really fluctuate. So if this one's good, I'm about to, because I put my main house on it.
Okay.
Just to see.
You haven't put your rentals on there, or?
No, I haven't put my rentals on there yet, because they're only running for like $50 a month. So can't trip on that.
Oh, that's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Energy Ogre, man. Look it up. There's some info for you.
But you got a bunch of topics. What you got to cover, topics.
Man? I wanted to hit on something real quick. I turned our previous house into corporate rental, right?
Okay.
And because Tracy sent us the hookup, and we got a corporate renter in there. Like this, we closed on a Friday, and got the corporate renters in there on the same Friday, dude. So we were hucking and bucking, getting that house ready. I had to order some beds. I told you my buddy has the hookup on the queen beds for $200.
Yeah, okay.
And so I ordered some beds, cleaned everything, got everything out of there. And got everything kind of like just shoved over here, and so there was 0 lapse in time at all from one, coming from one house to another, which is like ridiculous, Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little
stressful.
It's stressful. But I was thinking the whole time. I remember when you and Mahogany mentioned that y'all were fixing up that condo to arbitrage. And you said, like, y'all did a great job, but y'all were working into the midnight hour. You said blood, sweat, and tears getting that shit ready.
Yeah. Because I remember the most tough one was the one downtown. Like, we literally finished that day. As soon as we were done wiping off the counter, guests came, showed up, dropped the keys, and we left. I was like, damn. But, it was worth it in the end, It was worth it in the end.
Nothing motivates you like a deadline, right?
Man, for real, man. And then, speaking of that unit, it's a unit that I have downtown. And I had corporate people in it for like 8 months of the lease, 8-9 months, and I've been Airbnb-ing it like the last 2 months. So it's really like an underground Airbnb. Man, I think one of my guests ruined it, man, today.
Whoa,
dude, they went to the office and asked for a package, which is cool. We just asked for the package. Of course, they started talking about Airbnb. I'm like, oh, come on, are you this stupid? I was thinking that in my head. Oh man, I was like, oh whatever. So I was like, whatever, because I'm about to refi. I'm trying to get into more houses anyways, more houses and multifamilies. I was like, damn.
And this is the condo you own?
No, this ain't a condo. Oh. This is one of my apartment complexes.
Arbitrage.
One of my high-rise units downtown.
Oh, okay.
Overlooking the city, man. I was like, God.
So they hit you up, the office, or what?
Nah, just her. The office ain't hit us up yet.
Oh, shit.
But they told her she had 3 days to vacate. I was like, damn. But yeah, they ain't hit us up though. But yeah, it was crazy.
You didn't prep them before they, say, hey, don't mention nothing about Airbnb.
I don't even know what I was thinking, but like in all my listings, I say, hey, stay away from the office. Even on my ones that are corporate arbitrages, where they even know it's leased through my company.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have prepped them because I was like, man, Yale graduate, man. People be book smart, but street smart and stupid. For real, man.
That's
but
what.
Man, I was like, damn. But
well, that's what the that one guy I want to get on the show. Yeah, he mentioned how he does underground.
Oh yeah, he went next level with it.
But part of the thing he does, we'll get into him later.
Matter of fact, when we have him on the show, we'll let him break down what he does.
But part of the thing he does, he kind of gives the guest a little school and say, don't mention Airbnb to nobody, the neighbors. And he goes, and if cops come to the door, say you're a long-term renter. Kind of like, and here's the, and I don't know if he has a lease drawn up for him or some shit like that, but he tells them to say that. He's like, stick to the script. He says, a lot of them kind of feel a little weird when I tell them, but hey, I keep running it. It's still making me money.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You got to keep it 100 with them. Like, hey, you want to stay, you got to play the game.
Play to play, yeah.
For real.
And so what I was getting at, before we jumped off topic a little, I was talking about I got corporate renters in there, right?
Yeah.
Tracy hit me or hit us, hit the group up, said anybody have a place. And so I hit her up, said, yeah, we're closing Friday. That's when they need to move in. I was like, yeah, we could do that. We could figure it out. And always bite off more than you can chew, by the way, Myka. If you want to be successful in life, they say don't bite off more than you can chew.
That tests your limits.
Always bite off more than you can chew.
Definitely.
Because what's going to happen? I mean, you'll still get fed, right? A little bit will fall out of your mouth, maybe.
Yeah. You're either going to throw up or swallow it. There you go, man. You're going to keep it down or you're going to throw it up. It's all good.
Push your limits.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's good. That's a LLT little quote there. Always bite off more than you can chew.
Straight up.
Damn. We turned it on its head. Good night, everybody.
Question: how long is your corporate guest going to be there?
Well, this is what he. I signed him to a month because he said this is what he said. He said for sure. I guess that half of April, right, or the 12th he moved in. Okay. That chunk of April, and the whole of May. That was for sure.
Okay.
And he goes, but he's like 99% sure that they're going to do a year lease. Him and his wife's going to come to town because they're
corporate.
Yeah, they're going to do a year lease on that. And so it involved things with work and this and that, but he says he's pretty sure that if they like the house, which they do, they've been liking the house, they're going to go ahead and stay there and just rent it for the year at that price, And so
if you don't mind me asking, how much you charging?
$2,500 a month.
Woo! Dang! $2,500 for a year?
I still gotta pay the electric and water. I'm paying that. I know.
That's what I'm saying. But that's still good.
It's not bad. If hopefully they sign for a year.
Dang, $2,500. Dang, they got a family?
What? Right now it's him and like a couple other dudes from work because they work here. They do some kind of concrete pouring stuff. I don't know. They're in town for a while, and so right now, but his family, he's planning on bringing his family here in the summer or something like that.
Dang.
$2,500 a year, a month. Yeah, so
that's a nice little margin right there.
It's a nice chunk of change.
Yeah.
And on that note, this is he paid me with the check the first time, right?
Yeah.
Paid me for the rest of that month. Of course, I put, I took the Myka advice. We stayed away from the Airbnb,
Oh, yeah.
Stayed away from Airbnb, stayed away from VRBO, just went straight, dealing with someone one-on-one that's going to do a long-term lease.
Yeah.
And so I printed them out a month-to-month lease. And then, hey, Lupita and Mahogany are watching. What's up? And so, they're the real stars of this show.
Yeah, they are. Our beautiful wives.
Our beautiful wives. And so they... Where was I going with this?
I don't know. All I remember is 2,500.
2,500. Oh. Okay, so he paid for the check the first month, and for the deposit and the first months, and then so it's May 1st right now, right?
Yeah.
So I just sent out a feeler. I sent out a thing, on yesterday, the 29th. And of April, and I said, hey guys, hope y'all are enjoying the house. If y'all need anything, let me know. And by the way, I could swing by and get the check for this month's rent, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so, and I texted it to both of the dudes, and the younger dude's staying there. He said, hey, so and so's gonna call you. And he called me. He's like, hey Steve, this is I didn't say, I'm not gonna say his name or nothing, but I'm actually headed to Cincinnati right now, and my sister unexpectedly died. Yeah. And so it's a shock to all of us. It was none of us saw it coming. So she passed away. And I have to hop on this plane. I'm gonna have to go back over there. He goes, I'm gonna get you your rent. I just didn't have time to write you a check. I mean, is there any way I could pay with credit card or something like that? I was like, yeah, man. Sorry for your loss. Hope y'all are thoughts and prayers and everything. And and I just read the comment, and then this not to reading. Never mind. It sounds weird. We're laughing about this. We're not laughing about that. This is a serious thing.
Yeah.
But Mahogany wrote something on the thing. Yeah. And anyways, so yeah, I said, I'll find. I said, do you have, Of course, I went to the free suspects. I want you have PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. You have any of those? Nah, he's an older dude. He goes, I could pay with a credit card somehow. Just send me an invoice. And it's like, okay, I'll send you I have a Square. I can send you that.
Ooh, 2,500.
And so see, he's already doing the math. Anyways, so but I mean, it hit me as a shock too. He wanted to square it up. He wanted to pay. He had to jump on a plane. It was a family emergency type deal. And so I sent him. I went into my Square app and I sent him an invoice for $2,500. Boom. And he paid it today. But in the meantime, I looked up what the percentage they take is 2.9% for if you send an invoice to pay invoices.
How much they hit you for?
2.9%. It was $73.
Oh, that ain't bad.
It ain't bad. But my buddy T at work told me, because I was asking him, he has the what's it called, the duplexes. He has duplexes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he has some funny stories, by the way, of renters and stuff, and chicks keep trying to get that free rent.
I see where this is going.
T has some funny stories.
We got to get him on the cast.
When he gets T on the cast, he's hilarious.
Chicks trying to get that free rent.
But I'll tell you one story. But after this serious story.
Oh yeah, sorry, this guy.
Man, we just roll like that. Whatever. So anyways, so it charges me that. And what T suggested, he goes, man, he goes, I have Square. He goes, I never use it. They pay me whatever. They pay me cash or check or whatever. Uh-huh. But if I ever did take it, he goes, all you got on that invoice, did you put, what's it called, a fee on there? Did you put what's it called? A processing fee or a transaction? Yeah. It's like, no, man, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's all you got to do. Just put the rent and put processing fee, whatever it was, that's $73, and then it's on them. It's like, that's how big businesses do it.
That's true.
And I said, that's just think like a big business. And I was like, man, that's a good point. But I really didn't have. I was scrambling because
it's the first time. You didn't know that.
But the next month when he pays up again, I'll tell him, hey, it's cool to play with a credit card, but they're hitting me with this fee, so I gotta.
No. You just gonna tell them. I mean. Yeah, you just be like, hey, the credit card fee, man, comes out to about 4.5%.
I'm not going to try to make money.
Hey, man.
Hey, I've already got a good deal. What do they say? Give them 10 times the value of what you expect in money.
Even better deal at 4.5%.
See, Myka always thinks a step ahead, man. Two steps ahead.
33, because I'm like, if they hit me at 3.9, man, 4.5, that ain't nothing. Hey, man, the credit card company, man, I don't know what to tell you, 4.5. Hey, he might be able to chunk up that bread.
But what's cool as hell? Go ahead.
I was going to give you a quick word of advice, though. Did he have cash? You don't know?
I didn't even ask if he had cash. I know I never accept cash when I deal with rentals.
Yeah, but let's say he did have cash. I've had my current tenant who's in my condo does this. Once I would if I know he has cash, I'll just tell him to make a Zelle account. Just create Zelle, because almost all banks do Zelle. You get your money instantaneously.
Nice.
Zelle's the man. I'm actually backing away from Cozy if I can for taking payments. If you can get Zelle is like the best. No fees.
I love Zelle.
Yeah, Zelle's the truth.
I have my Hearst room, my Hearst tenant. She uses Zelle. She asked me if I was like, I got it. I'll take Zelle.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a thing. My credit union doesn't use Zelle. I guess maybe not all the credit unions are part of it.
Yeah, credit unions probably ain't going to use
it. But I have a Chase account for my for the rental properties, so they take it. The cool thing about this is the first time I've ever sent someone an invoice, and it's what's cool about it is
that through
PayPal. I did it through Square.
Okay.
The Square app. And they have, not only do they have the Square app, it asks me if you want to track your invoices better, you can download the Square invoice app. So it's a different app. So anyways, I downloaded it and you can see your invoices real good. And the cool thing is you can make that invoice recurring every single first of the month. Okay. It'll send them if you think about it, it takes your hands off of it even further. Really? The first of the month comes. My first renter's a little ghetto. I gotta send them a little poke. Hey, first of the month.
You got a little what?
A little. Okay, I get it. I got your money.
Oh man, I got your money.
I got your money. Don't worry.
Baby, I got you.
Baby, I got your money. No. But anyways, with that Square app, it sends them on when you set it on the date you want.
Okay.
First of the month, boom, it hits them up. Okay, hey, this is Stephen Cher Real Estate. Reminding you got $2,500 invoice, and thank you for doing business with us. It's real professional.
Yeah.
And then of course, if they don't pay it that day, the next day, boom, it hits them up again. Hey, you still have this invoice to pay. Of course, if you're doing long term, technically you give them to the fourth, right? That's just I know. That's just how you live in an apartment complex. I remember living in apartment complexes.
Give me to the fifth.
And you go drop it off on the fourth. After they closed already, that gives you an extra day, right? You drop it in the midnight box.
Yeah.
And then you forgot to sign the check. Oh, crap, that gives you another day.
Hey, I hit people up that first day of the month, hit their send payment request button on Zelle.
But that's cool how you can make it on Square, make it a recurring payment. And it says allow them to store a credit card or not. And I said, well, yeah, I'll allow them to store a credit card. And so it's pretty cool. It kind of brings one more level of taking your hands off your business and letting it run itself. I thought that was pretty cool.
I like that, because I remember earlier when I was talking to you, I was like, man, you got to be careful with people paying with credit cards. But, man, I'm actually thinking about Square just so I can go charge that 4.5%.
Oh, see.
Because I'll do it. I'll charge 4.5%. Oh, man. That's how big, like your boy said, that's how the big guys make their money.
That's how the businesses do it, man.
Straight up.
You go to a little Asian market, man. They don't want you to pay with a card. They'll charge you 2-3% to pay with your credit card, right?
Yeah,
because they get hit with the fees.
Yeah, then they'll hit you with you got to be more than $5.
Yeah, big, Walmarts and them, they can eat that all day. They don't care. But like the mom and pops, that's taking money out of their ass. Anyways, so Square, I really like Square. I own stock in them too, so they're a good company.
Might have to get on that, man. I just hopped back in the stock market actually.
Oh, did you buy some Apple?
Nah, I bought some marijuana stocks. Hop back in on the marijuana, man.
Who'd you buy?
What was the name of it?
Canopy Growth.
Was it Canopy Growth? It might have been. Like my dad's in all them little stock groups where they all pay to play, and then they shoot back a stock that's gonna hit, and then he just sends me the stock, and I just buy it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was a marijuana stock. I got a couple more I need to buy too, but yeah. Sweet.
That sticky icky.
Yeah, that's sticky icky making that green.
But one more thing about Square.
Yeah.
I'm tooting Square's horn. But it does take it says a day or 1 or 2 business days to get to your bank account, right?
Really?
It goes to Square. It's pretty much, most of them do that crap. But now they're offering the Square card. You can get you a Square card. It works like a debit card, right?
Instantaneous payment.
And instantaneous in your account. You can go start using that debit card right away. Square, man.
Seeing a lot of people getting with that instant payment. Like even Uber and Uber's legit with that instant payment. Like you can go drive for Uber, make $150, get paid right then and there.
Nice.
You could go home and have put some groceries on your table, But yeah, I mean, everybody's getting with that instantaneous payment.
That is cool. Yeah. So I'm looking at yours. Decrease expenses with multiple streams of income.
Yeah, man. I'm actually that goes back to what I told you earlier. I'm like, man, we might look to get a house built from the ground up.
The way you want it built.
Yeah, take them the floor plan. Like, hey, here's because when I was coming up to your house, they're building brand new houses over there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about hopping on one of those. I just need a lot. Once I get the lot, I already have the floor plan of what I want. Get the
just
floor
make
plan
2
built.
guest houses. Shit.
Yeah, you could, but I want to be living for free. Get me a whole house, live for free, and then start taking that money and throwing it back into real estate, man.
You got used to living for free, renting out of your house.
Man, I got used to that, dude. That living for free was nice.
For free and then some. Shit.
Yeah, for real. So I was like, damn, I got to think about buying me another house. Then I'll sell my current house and we'll go throw that at some rental properties or something. So, yeah, man, that was a nice little chunk of change coming in. But, yeah.
I want to give a shout out to this book from the Bigger Pockets.
Okay.
They finally did a BURR book, and I've been fascinated with the BURR method for so long. It's right here. There's the book. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. It's called the BURR book by David Green. And I've never ordered a damn book from them, from Bigger Pockets.
Book for them.
Because they're like, how to sell your house, or how to buy a house with no money down, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but this one is fascinating to me because, the BURR process, I've explained it on the show. You buy a house, you renovate it, you rent it out. With us, we'd look to Airbnb, a corporate, make double the rent. And then you go refinance that house that you fixed up.
You gotta get a beater now.
You gotta get a fixer-upper, a beater house that helps. It helps. And then let's just say you bought a fixer-upper for $50,000. You put 20 in it, and it's worth 120. So 70, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's you could pull out $50,000, or whatever. It's a percentage. You could pull out $40,000 back, almost all your money, right?
You pull out what is it on a rental? 60?
80
on a primary.
60 to 75%. I don't know. It's
80
like
if you claim it as your primary, you can pull out 80.
75 or 80.
You can pull out 80 if you claim it as primary.
So we could take it one step further. We can live in that mug and Airbnb it most of the time while we're there, and then bounce, right? And then pull the money out, and then bounce to the next house.
Hold on, we're getting us to the stipulations of illegal. We wouldn't Airbnb it. We'd be living there, of course. But yeah,
But anyways, and so you refinance, you pull your money, most of it or all of your money out. In a dream situation, you pull all $50,000 that you put in fixing that house up. Put it on a 30-year note because, when you buy it, you either buy it cash or you buy it hard money. However you buy it, you buy it. Hopefully you can save up $50,000 and do it that way. That would be great. And then
you buy it to pay off your hard money loan, right?
Well, you could do it that way. Or let's say you just bust your ass and save $50,000 to buy you a fixer-upper. Yeah. And then go in there and slowly fix it up and then, get renters in there and then refinance it. And you could pull all $50,000 back out if you do it right,
Yeah.
And you use that same $50,000 to buy the next house, and you do the same thing. You buy it, renovate it, rent it out, refinance, pull that $50,000 out again, and then get you another house. So it's called the velocity of money. That same dollar is buying you the next house and the next house and the next.
BURR.
And it's the BURR. And I was like, that's a freaking cool way to do it, man.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of, you have to worry. I guess worry about interest rates and cash flows, and of course you gotta buy right and all that stuff. But the fact that you could actually, use the same dollar over and over again just to accumulate cash flowing properties. That's how you do, instead of just, oh, I'm gonna save up 50 grand this year, buy a house, fix it up, rent it out, and then I'm gonna save up again another 50 grand. That'll take me another year or two.
Slow.
And you're growing slow. But and what his main argument in the book is like, not only are you accumulating properties faster, but he goes, he pointed out, how do you learn how to shoot a basketball? How do you learn how to play baseball? How do you learn how to ski? You got to do it over and over and over again. Repetition.
Repetition always goes.
And that's how you learn. And he goes, and so while you're buying all these, a house after house after house, 1 or 2 a month or every 2 months, you not only are you getting more houses, but you're learning how to do it more efficiently.
Yeah.
What to look for, how to fix them, what materials to use. You get good contractors that will start working with you. You get better pricing from the contractors. I mean, because the more free throws you shoot, the better you're going to get at shooting free throws. If you shoot one free throw every year or two, you're not going to get very good at it, right?
About to be Shaq out there.
So that book got me all excited again, because I was like, every now and then I hear the Dave Ramsey whispers and stuff. Hey, man, you're getting into too much debt now. You need to,
Man, that was a perfect. That was a perfect little.
Start paying down some of this debt, okay? Don't be an idiot, okay?
Oh man, is there such thing as good debt?
There's good leverage.
Real talk. I like that answer.
And he said that's you getting with leverage. He loves leverage because it gets your money to work for you.
Yeah.
I said people leverage things all the time. You have your small business. You leverage other workers to help you run the small business and make it successful. You have a startup. You leverage other people's help in your startup to make it run good. And it's just you're leveraging your money.
Yeah.
It's either just sitting in your house or you're putting it to work. You're putting your money to work in another house. Then you take it out, put it to work in another house. He goes.
Yeah.
And so, and just he said that he mentioned it too. Nowhere else in the world does someone give you like $100,000 or $200,000 at like 3% and give you 30 years to pay him back. He goes, no one does that. He goes, you might as well take advantage of that stuff. That's just, that's powerful leverage.
That's free money. That's real talk, man. That's free money.
Yeah, government subsidized free money. Might as well take advantage.
Yeah, land of capitalism.
Yeah, get the book, and it'll change your world.
Man. Oh, hold on. You got a topic on here I'm interested in.
Oh.
Had to cancel a guest reservation. First time ever. What happened? What happened with that?
Man, I kind of felt bad about it a little too, and I've never had to before. And the thing is, here's what happened, and I mentioned it kind of on a previous show. So a guest had booked. I mean, I had left my window open all the way through April, but then that's when I found my long-term rental was before April. It was a few months before, but some Yahoo booked way out in advance in a week, this past week, in April 25th. Mm-hmm. They took that week, even though like it was way far in the future, and I was like, oh crap. That was right before I was going to shut off the dates on my Airbnb. Yeah. But someone grabbed that week way out. I was like, man, and the renter, she wanted to move in April 1st. And so I was like, well, and that's when I told her too, if you're cool with it, maybe I can rent it out that week and you can stay at my other rental or my other place over there in Arlington, the one I just moved out of. Mm-hmm. But of course I got corporate renters right away day one, so she can't go there. Dang. And then when she was moving in that day, we were happening to get we were clearing out some stuff from the Hearst house when she was moving in. She had a lot of stuff, man. I mean, a lot of stuff. She had like a big old U-Haul truckload. I was like, man, I can't rent this place. I'm not going to ask her to move all her crap or shove it all in the garage, Yeah. And
should have told your renters to book with me, or tell her to book one of my spots downtown overlooking the city. She would have been straight.
Yeah, but yeah.
Then she had to move all her stuff.
Move all her stuff, and she had she drives a hearse. First of all, I told you that before, and
Oh man, that makes this even more weird. But go ahead.
She's a real gothic and had some real gothic type stuff, and I don't know. It would have been nothing wrong with that, but just I think a family would be like a little weirded out about it, you know. Some skeletons going on. And anyways, so I tried to think of all kinds of ways, and in the meantime, I mean, we had to go do our trip to Mexico. We came because we moved so fast. Did our trip to Mexico, came back. We still got stuff everywhere here, and I'm like, man, there's no way I can do it. I got to cancel. I called Airbnb. I said, hey, man, check it out, Hearst, city of Hearst. I mean, this was like a few weeks, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks away. Yeah. I was thinking of everything, but I couldn't figure out how to get these people in somewhere other spot. And I just called Airbnb. I said, listen, this city of Hearst just canceled, just banned Airbnb. Mm-hmm. They're going to charge me $2,000 a day if I do Airbnb, and I got one more listing, and I said I can't do it. And they said, oh yeah, let me see, let me look at something real quick. I don't know what all he researched. I called the Superhost hotline, right? Yeah. I don't know what all he researched. He might have researched city of Hearst, Texas, and yeah, sure enough, there's a ban. Mm-hmm. Or he might have researched if I've ever canceled anybody before. And then he said, oh, okay, yeah, we understand. You know, those bans are happening all over the country, and we get these calls all the time. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cancel it. We'll try to find them something. And yeah, I said, well, you know, here's what I'm concerned with. Will it ding me as a Superhost? I have a cancellation? No, it's not. It's the city that did it, not you. It's not your fault. And I said, well, what about can they put a bad review on me that I canceled on them or whatever that said? She goes, no, that they won't be able to do that either. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, thank you very much. And so they canceled them, and I did get a message from those people. Said, hey, I just got a message from someone that says they're Airbnb, but I don't know if it's spam. Is this reservation still? Is this still good, or did it really cancel? I was like, yeah, you know, I explained it to them. Unfortunately, they banned it in my city, $2,000 a day fine. You know, blah blah blah. Oh man, that sucks. You know, I don't know how they send us some places, but there's nothing that we can afford in such short notice. And I said, well, I'll look at my network and see if I know anybody. Yeah. And I didn't.
When they coming?
It was this past week, so I don't know what happened with that.
Should have hit me up, man. You didn't hit my line. I would have had somewhere for him to stay.
That's when I put it out there. I put on the date on that Facebook, and you said, hey, you know, they're not going to respond to you because they're afraid to. They're afraid to.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Oh, hold on. Where do they want to be, in Arlington?
Here in Hearst. They were going to rent the Hearst house.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done over there.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, okay.
So anyways, yeah, I felt bad. I mean, I didn't get dinged, but I feel bad for that family because I've never, ever canceled anybody.
Oh, I have. Not on Airbnb, though. I got double booked one time, man. I just canceled the HomeAway guest. It's like, man, sorry, man. Stuff came up. Gotta go.
So I guess my advice is, you know, I thought, and I'm usually good at, you know, figuring out something. Yeah. But then just everything happened and I couldn't figure it out. So that
was the best thing you could have done.
Well, the best thing I could have done was canceled it right away as soon as I got a long-termer in there. That would have given him more time. That would have given him like a couple months to find something, you know. Yeah. So I instead of just thinking, I can figure this out, I should have just ripped the Band-Aid off and canceled it and just gave that family, you know, a more opportunity to find something. Because finding something last minute, that was going to cost them a lot of money. Yeah. And Airbnb ain't going to do nothing to help them, I'm sure.
Nah. Yeah. Well, no. What they might do is they might pay the difference from what they had already paid. You know what I mean? Then it's a win-win for them and Airbnb.
Now, Booking.com would have done that.
For real?
Remember they would do that and they'd send me the invoice for the difference? Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah. I think Airbnb would too, because Airbnb, if you cancel, Airbnb doesn't get paid. At least I don't think. Meaning they don't get their little fee. So I think they would probably pay the difference. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or have the guest pay the difference. Like, look, we'll put you in this spot. You just pay the difference. Yeah. That's what I would do.
So, yeah, that's my cancellation story, man.
Hey, man. Oh, I see you were talking about some refi rates. I locked in my rate today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, what'd you get?
4.5. Went up 0.3%, 0.3125%.
That's on your primary?
Yeah.
That's not bad, dude.
I know it ain't. I was like, oh, snap. I can walk in 4.5. Oh, yeah, I'm in there.
I always leave it to the crooked-ass Wells Fargo to
Yeah, I love them, man. I love they crooked ass, man. That's probably why it took so long to get my stuff refinanced, man. They're probably doing some dirty work back there. Scheming up on the funds. So, hey, I love Wells Fargo. They're always cool with me. So, hey, so if anything ever pops off and they have to cancel all our loans, we're good.
Good, man.
Yeah.
I told you that Houston thing, right? Did I talk to you about that, or did we talk about it on Did we talk about it on the cast?
What happened in Houston?
Well, I had mentioned that a job opportunity came up in Houston.
Yeah, go ahead.
We talk about it on the cast, or just me and you?
Just me and you. It was just me and you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I it's funny because we just moved in here. We just got this house, closed on it, started moving in, and then I heard about this opportunity in Houston. And because we're opening up some jobs, H-Town, and I was like, you know what? I told my wife, I was like, hey, check this out. I know we just got this house. This is your dream house, our forever home. But what if I got a job in Houston? We go there, and we're able to buy a house there. Because I even called Wells Fargo. I emailed Wells Fargo first. I said, hey, listen, I might have to switch jobs to Houston. Is there a way I could just rent this one out and then go buy a house in Houston? And they're like, he goes, yeah, that would be acceptable because it's far, it's a far away location. You don't have to wait a year to rent out and then move. So if you have to move for job related or whatever, you can they'll finance you to another house and you can rent out the previous one even a week later. You know what I'm saying? Because I said, oh fuck, we got to go to Houston now. And so I was like, well, look, honey. I could move over there. I could take that job in Houston. We can buy a house in Houston, find a nice spot, and then be there for a little bit, and then say, hey, I put in my transfer to come back to DFW right away. We'll move back to your dream house, and we'll have a rental in Houston. That was, thinking of as a dude, as, an investor type mentality.
You
I found
want
a
that
big ass loophole, man.
Hey, I know. I hope everybody just took notes on that. So if you buy a house and want to get another one, move away.
Move away. And then they'll waive that 1 year or 6 month wait, And so I was
so is that the wait?
They say 6 months, but then some banks say, to be on the safe side, say wait a year and then you can move again. And so
6 months?
6 months to a year. Damn. They said with extenuating circumstances you can do 6 months, but with mostly if you stay in a house a year and then you can move. That's what I've been doing every year, moving to the next house. Yeah, that's dope.
I like that.
But I found a loophole. I can, if I had a job opportunity in Houston, move there within a few weeks.
Yeah, for real.
Put in. I said, oh crap! I'll call Wells. Well, I don't even have to call Wells Fargo at that point. I had to move back to DFW.
H-Town just down the street too,
and
man.
then I just have my rental there, and I told my buddy about it. I told my cousin about it because he likes hearing me. I don't know if he likes hearing me talk about real estate. I like talking to him about real estate.
Yeah.
He thinks it's cool, but I was like, yeah. He goes, well, how are you gonna run a house in Houston? I was like, man, it's all on this thing, man. It's all automated, man. I run all my houses on this shit. I don't go checking
phone, baby. Straight up phone.
So you got the Cozy app. You got Airbnb, you got whatever. You get your handyman over there. You're good.
Man, you know what I'm loving about houses, and you'll probably like this too. Speaking of that, like managing it, man. If you get some of them Ring doorbells and the Vivint system set up. Man, you always know what's going on at your house.
That's what I mentioned too, the Ring.
Yeah.
I do need to get the Ring.
Yeah, man, that stuff's dope, man. I love it.
What is the Vivint?
Vivint's the whole security system. They'll put cameras all around the outside of your house.
Oh, shit.
Front, back.
Side to side.
Yeah, side to side, all that. You know what I'm saying? Make it bounce and turn. But yeah, I mean, Vivint, they got a pretty good security system. They're pretty dope. But yeah, I'm loving it for my houses.
Nice.
So where's your man? Oh yeah, I was in the gym this morning. The reason I texted you so early this morning, I was in the gym. I was in the sauna, and I saw that big thing about Venezuela. Everything that's going on down there with the riots and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know, how far is Venezuela from Argentina? They touch or no?
No, I don't. No, they don't touch because No, because Argentina's way down south. It's past Brazil. You keep going south past Brazil. It's Argentina.
Yeah, because Venezuela is going. Because I heard you said your boy, he was getting ready to chunk the deuces.
Oh, my buddy Federico, my good friend, the one who went to Argentina to go to the wedding. He it's getting bad over there financially.
Dang.
He said like in the last year, his bank account has dropped like 1/3 of what it was because of inflation. So let's say there was like 20 pesos to $1, then it went to 30, then it went to 40. Now it's like 47, going to 50.
Damn,
so what that means is his bank account, the money he has in his bank account, just keeps losing value, like a third of what it was, man. And he said they see it as getting worse. So he got married, and his wife actually, she was born here and grew up here, and then moved to Argentina when she was young. And so she has citizenship, American citizen.
Yeah.
So he can start applying because he married an American citizen. He can start applying. She's been the one that not really want to come over here. She don't want to live here. She loves Argentina, this and that, and has all her family there and stuff. It's understandable. But now she's finally starting to come around. He's like, because he works for American Airlines too, and he's real smart. He runs a whole South America operations, man. Damn. So he can get a job over here pretty good, I think. And I said, man, I'll teach you the real estate ropes while you're here. Because he's talking about right away. He's like, yeah, we're thinking of moving there. And of course, I'd work at DFW first because that's the biggest, that's the biggest hub and all this stuff. All the offices are here. But then we want to go to live in New England or something like that. And I was like, New England? He's like, yeah, we just, we lived it up there. It's real beautiful, this and that. I was like, oh, shit. It's cold and expensive, too.
Yeah, the winters ain't no joke, man.
And then he said something like, oh, maybe Portland, too. Maybe the Northwest. And I said, man, y'all got some expensive tastes.
Yeah, for real. I've lived in Portland 19 years. I wouldn't go back, ever. Right, man.
What I was telling him, I was like, dude, I know people say whatever, Dallas ain't the prettiest whatever part of the country, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the cheapest cost of living. You can invest here. You can grow your money here. You got all the overtime you want here in DFW. Plus, I tell everybody when they tell me that, it's like, yeah, it might not be the prettiest, but my backyard is the entire world. Because if I can hop on any plane in DFW and get anywhere in the world.
I tell anybody that if you move to Dallas, that is the best thing in the world. You can fly anywhere for $300.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere. Mm-hmm. New York, Miami, Vegas, Portland, Seattle, LA. Like, you can fly. It's the dead middle of the country, man. That's what I love about Dallas. And you can fly all the way to, what's it called now? Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
Qatar Air is here. Yeah, you can fly to Dubai straight through. Like, bro, you can't beat living in Dallas. Like, if you got family somewhere, you can, on a plane, you out. Straight up. Like, me and Mahogany just went to Portland for the weekend, came back.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we're gonna do New York soon. So yeah, that is like no state income tax.
Yep, that's another thing. Yeah. So our backyard is the entire world because we can get anywhere from DFW.
Straight up.
Whereas if he tries to fly out of Boston, you're limited. Not a lot of flights. You got to fly to New York. You fly to Miami, or you got to fly to Dallas to get somewhere else.
There you go.
Or even the same thing with trying to fly out of Seattle or Portland. It's always packed. Man. It's always hard. It's hard to fly out of those.
You all the way in the corner of the country, man.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie. The one good thing about Portland, though, you can fly to Vegas for like $90. That's the only good thing, Yeah. But anywhere else, you gotta fly into Miami, $600-$700. It's just, or you gotta catch one of them Travelocity specials.
Yeah.
Put you in a small ass seat. But that is.
And see, and Federico and his wife Carolina, they're globetrotters, man. They travel all over the world. He's been over, he's been over to like 50, 60 countries in the world. And she's been in a bunch of them with him. And it's like, man, y'all love to travel. What the hell are you trying to live somewhere where it's hard to travel,
Yeah,
it's right here. You just hop on a plane and you're gone, shit.
For real.
And so I was explaining him, he was asking me, because I told him, oh, by the way, we got another house. Mm-hmm. And, oh, wow, congratulations. I sent him the pictures on Zillow. He said, wow, it's got a pool, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, how are you doing it? I was like, man, I told you, I'm doing the real estate thing, and I told him this is what you got to do. When you get here, I'll help you get that. Well, I'm not going to help money wise, but I'll show you how to get that first house.
He had to correct himself. Wow. I'm not going to give you no money. Oh, man.
needs a little help, I'll figure out a loan to make. You know?
Better learn to charge that 4.5%.
That's low, bro.
However you want to charge it, man.
Just kidding.
Got to arbitrage that interest rate.
Just kidding. But I told him that's what you got to do. Get you a starter home, 3-2. You know, I told him what size to look for. You live in there for a year, then bounce to the next one, get the first 4 or 5. You know, and
is he married? I mean, not is he married? Does he have kids?
No kids. They don't want to have kids for a while.
Man, I would have told him, man, you better go buy you a 5-plex and live in one of them units. It's only 2 of y'all. Go live in one of them units, live there, bounce to the next one. You got 5 units right there.
That's even better.
I was talking to my boy. I didn't know this. If you have 5 or more, it's considered commercial.
Oh, really? In a 5-plex, you mean?
Yeah, that's considered commercial.
Oh, no shit.
Is
that good or bad?
Good. Your loans are a little bit better, and how you refi is a little bit better. My boy was telling me about it. He's like, yeah, because I asked him, because like I told him I knew where some multifamilies was. He was like, are they 5 or more? I was like, nah, I think I got a couple of them that are 5s, and I got some that are 4s. He's like, I only want 5 or more. And I was like, why is that? And he broke it down to me. He goes, yeah, it counts as a commercial loan. And he was like, you get your money. It's a little bit better leverage, I guess. So I was like, oh, shit. All right. Didn't know that. But, yeah.
That's how you learn, man, networking. That's how you learn. And, yeah, but that was funny. I was telling Federico, he goes, wow, you can do that? He goes, how come everybody doesn't do that then over there? And I was like, because they're first of all,
we don't need everybody doing it.
People are scared.
Yeah.
And people, they just want to punch the clock, go home, and eat some food, drink some drink, and watch whatever show, and then just fall asleep and do it all over again, and do that till they're like 70 years old. I said, but I ain't trying to do that. And I said, and if you play your cards right, you're young. He's in his 20s. Y'all are in your 20s.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah, I said you could do this. What I'm trying to teach you here, and be retired, huh?
How old is he?
He's like 26, 27.
Oh, damn. Yeah. He got the whole world ahead of him.
Yeah, I said, y'all don't got kids yet. Y'all can do this house hacking, bouncing around, building up these properties, getting this cash flow. You could be retired by 40, dude. I said, if you go try to live somewhere expensive, you ain't never going to retire. Nah. You're just going to be living in a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom condo where you could buy a mansion for here. And you
for real, dog.
And you'll never retire. Over here, there's, whatever. You got to live in Dallas for a little while, but it ain't the worst city.
Yeah. I love Dallas, man. I love the middle of the country.
I love it, too.
Love it.
But anyways, that's what I guess this one's...
He's only 26 and been to that many countries?
Yeah.
That's dope.
He's been working for American, so he goes and trains all over the world, too.
Really?
Trains he trains the call centers. He does the call centers for American Airlines.
He speaks multiple languages?
Yeah, Spanish and English. Yeah.
Okay.
And so... and probably Portuguese, too. I'm not quite sure. I think he knows... Because over there, you're right by Brazil, so he probably knows some of that, too.
Man, I turned the big dirty 30 this month, so I ain't going to be in the 20s with him for too long.
But see, you're already financial free. What is it called?
I wish. I ain't financially free yet, especially this arbitrage about to get shut down. But I'm pushing. I'm trying to get there.
By 40 for sure, you'll have the choice if you want to work or not, right? As a 9 to 5. I think
so.
In 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully.
So I keep the grind going, yeah.
Yeah. Start at least accumulate 1 or 2 every year. Shit.
Yeah, I need to. That's why I'm trying to go ahead and accumulate something now. I'm trying to cut back on my living expenses. This whole stopping that house hack, man. I'm like, dang, I gotta pay my mortgage, man. What's this? No, because I remember when I first told my realtor we was gonna stop. She was like, "Y'all sure about that?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "When was the last time you paid your mortgage?" Mahogany looked. She was like, "Dang, it's been like 2 years since we paid our mortgage." I was like, "For real."
Jeez.
I know, man. We were stacking chips, man. But yeah.
Well, this was a good show. We're at over an hour now, I think.
Yeah, well, hour and 4 minutes.
We have a lot more topics. If you want to roll another one, we could. Or did you want to just extend this one out? I don't know.
We can extend it, man. It's been a while.
Okay, yeah. This is going to be a long episode, y'all, so bear with us.
I like what you said, live in, fix up, pull out equity. Okay, we talked about that. Refi rates. What did you mean by time heals all REI wounds? What wound did you have in the real estate world? I
guess I saw it as the whole because inflation's a real deal, right?
Yeah.
Every year, man. I hear it's the government always says it's around 2 or 3%. I don't know, maybe 4. But I hear the real inflation rate's like around 9%. That's what I hear the real deal is. And anyways, so what I was referring to, I was like, I would hear these stories, like especially during the 2009 or whatever. People were renting out their houses, but they might have been just barely breaking even or losing $100 a month, renting out these houses. And so a lot of them had said, screw this, and sold for a loss, or sold for whatever, and just didn't make anything off those houses. And what I was thinking is like, man, if we could just set up our business where we can, streamline it as much as we can. And even if the rough time did come, like I was talking about the crash earlier, and rents drop, but if we can just hang in there. If we just hang in there, time is on our side because it's going to come back. And it's going to come back with, with more steam, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you'll be going from, barely, maybe breaking even or making a little bit. You'll be making a bunch again because inflation, it happens. It just continues to happen. The dollar keeps, in 20 years from now, 30 years from now, that dollar is going to be worth even less than it was, you know what I'm saying?
Real.
And so if you held on to these houses and 10, 20 years from now, you'd be sitting pretty.
For real.
You just got to wait till, it's going to be a struggle. It might be a struggle for a minute, but if you can just hang in there, time heals all REI wounds, man.
That's real talk. I like that.
So, that's what I was thinking. It just came to my mind. I was like, yeah, these people that bounced right after and sold at the worst freaking time to sell. Imagine if they'd held on to those houses that they thought was, $100,000 was a lot of money to buy them back then.
Man,
they were like 200, $250 right now.
How do you think? First off, is it illegal to pick up people's bandit signs?
To pick them up?
Yeah,
well, they shouldn't even be laying there in the first place. It's illegal to put them in the first place in a lot of spots. In a lot of spots, it is. It's illegal to plant them.
For real? I might have to start planting some in my neighborhood.
I've seen the city pick them up before in their pickups. They start gathering up all the bandit signs in the corners and shit.
I'm about to start. Well, I'm thinking about starting to place them just in my neighborhood.
Oh, are you gonna buy? Oh,
if I get some houses on like a short sale or something, like, hey, give somebody what they owe the bank and they can't afford it. Yeah. I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, you gotta hustle. You gotta find a way to find deals, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Or the only thing is you get a wholesaler, man. Some of them be on some bullshit. For real, man. Some of them be on some BS, man. But, yeah, I'm just thinking of other ways. Because like you were saying, like when people can't make their rent, when people are renting houses and they're taking a loss, the other end of that is they bought the house at a bad time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ones I was showing you in where that we're looking at to buying and investing. Mortgages are cheap, man. You can get mortgage $600-$700.
You say where?
Yeah, can't be having people go to our secret spot. But those mortgages like $600-$700, and we can revitalize that neighborhood. So get our Nipsey hustle on.
We might even get like some small business minority loans going on too.
Business minority loans
to renovate the neighborhood. We got to talk to Al about that. I wonder if he ever gets any of that stuff.
He probably does. Yeah, see, we got to get Al on again because he has some good stuff. But yeah, I've been thinking because I'm really trying to, like I told you, man, I'm trying to buy a block. If I can get that block, because there's a house that just came up for sale directly across the street from one of my Airbnbs, and I was like, dang. And he told us about it on purpose because he's seen us doing Airbnb. Because he goes, oh yeah, all your guests are nice, man. They really pick up the place. I was like, okay. He goes, yeah, I'm about to put mine on the market. I was like, man, how much you trying to get for it? He listed a price. It was a price. It's a good price. I just don't want to pay it. Mm-hmm. I want that instant equity. Because if he actually sold his house for that much, if I sold my house, I could sell my house for that much too. Which is, man, a nice little chunk of change. But,
to bring up the comps.
Yeah, because that's all you really want. One person to sell, you get the comps, bam, you put your house on the market. Because that's really why I want to put my main house on the market right now. Because somebody sold down the street at a nice little price. I was like, oh, houses are this much? Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah. That's one thing I'm looking at.
That's cool. We did mention operating underground. I'll go back to real quick with that dude, that the guy we're going to get on the show. And I'm just going to give it like an outline of how he did it, which is freaking genius, right? Oh, by the way, there's a lot of talk about dropping pins, right? You know, changing your address and dropping pins, whatever. Yeah. And that's what this guy did with his listing. And I think he operates out of, I won't say where he operates out of because he don't want to get busted. If he's going to be a guest on our show, I don't want him to, like, you know. So he's operating out of a place that's banned, right? And he straight up went on one of the forums and said, hey, you know, not trying in a few words calling everybody idiots, but anyways, he's saying, if you were smart, this is what you got to do. This is how I run my business, and I never get popped. And he said that, well, first of all, he put the address of a bank that's real close to his house in the neighborhood, right? Yeah. So he put the bank's address on there. Freaking genius. And he dropped the pin right on the bank. So people looking at the pin, they'll see the neighborhood, you know, just in that. That's the neighborhood they're going to be staying at. So it's not too far of a stretch. And second, of course, he doesn't put his face on there. He puts a logo. He don't put the pictures at the front of the house. You know, he don't do that. You know, like we've been preaching. But he takes it, man. He takes it a step further. He's like, he puts it on strict cancellation. Mm-hmm. And this is why he does it. He puts it on strict. So he claims that there's a lot of and Arlington has, I'm not saying he's there, but Arlington has a bunch of these old people that have nothing better to do. That's what he even said it on the show. You know, there's old people that are against Airbnb that have nothing better to do. So they'll go around their neighborhoods on the Airbnb site and they'll book these places just so it'll show the address, and then they'll cancel, you know, won't have to pay nothing, right? Yeah. And so they have the address and they report them to the city and saying this house is a party house, blah, 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 try to get them shut down, you know. Mm-hmm. They just go all day and boom, boom, boom. When they book his place, it's on strict. Also, he informs them, you know, due to whatever safety concerns, I won't be able to send you the address until 2 days before booking.
Or the day of. Something like that. Yeah.
He goes, you know, don't worry, you know, this is, you know, it's a real thing. But a day before booking, I'll send you the address. You know, you won't be able to get a refund at that date, but, you know, don't worry, everything's cool. So these people, that defers, that keeps those old people that ain't got nothing better to do, or anti-Airbnbers, from booking just so they can cancel, just to see the address, because then they'll be out like some serious money, and they can't afford to do that shit on a fixed income.
On fixed income. Oh, still a fixed income.
And if they were smart, they'd be Airbnb out of their own house. Right?
Yeah, real talk.
Oh, man.
It's expensive.
It might smell like Ben Gay and mothballs, but still, you can get some money out of that house.
Oh, man. But yeah, that was the smartest thing I had ever heard. Like, he straight sends them the address, the real address, the day of. I was like, that's pretty smart.
And that was big time.
Yeah, for real.
And he plus he informs the guest, please do not tell anybody that you're staying at an Airbnb. You know, it's not allowed in my neighborhood, and if someone comes knocking on the door, tell them you're a long-term renter. And so he covers all his bases. Yeah. So it seems like he would be able to stay underground for a pretty long time. Until he gets on Live, Let, Thrive. I'm just kidding.
We can cloak his face. You know?
Yeah, he'll talk like this.
Yeah, we can cloak his voice, your face. You know, he come in with the bandana on. You know?
And our other friend, we should get her on too. We should just do a panel. You know, that'd be cool.
Who's our other friend?
Cammy over there, and where I can't name where she's at. And but she's been talking about wanting to get on the show too. The one that makes like anywhere between $8,000 to $12,000 a month on her Airbnb.
Yeah, we got to get her on. We probably aren't allowed to Airbnb in her parts, though.
So a lot of underground action happening, and I mean, it's like you said, it's like Uber. You know, they tried to ban that shit when it came out. The taxi cabs tried to bring it down. Some of the cities tried. It was just the cat was out of the bag, right?
Yeah.
And you can't. Yeah, it was.
Man, they said Uber. Man, I heard Uber got some bad customer service, worse than Airbnb. That's what I heard, man.
People be getting murdered and raped in Uber cars. It's
dang.
Not all the. Man, that's just an anomaly. 99.9999%. Nothing ever happens. You get to the location, You give a guy $3 for getting you there, which is fucked up for the driver.
Man. Uber said they don't care. They taking that cut. Straight up.
You know, one of that is mine. But the thing is, for the drivers too. I mean, Uber and Lyft, their end game is to get rid of you guys. They don't want. I mean, y'all are taking too much money from them. They're not turning a profit yet because you guys have to get paid. They have to pay you, and so what they want is automated cars.
Question: is Uber not making money yet?
Well, that's a good point. I heard they haven't profited.
They haven't?
But,
okay.
I mean, I know Lyft they've lost like $1 billion or more since they've been operating.
For real?
But if you think about it, I mean, they're the only two. I mean, there's a bunch of pretenders, but they're the only two that are out there. I mean, you think they'll figure it out, right?
Yeah. Like Via out here in Arlington, man, that was a pretty dope idea.
I tried to book one. It was more expensive than ordering an Uber. I tried to book a Via.
How fast do they come, though?
Who? Vias? That's a good question. I decided not to. I booked an Uber instead.
Yeah, for real. I ain't know. Dang,
I thought it was like a $5 anywhere kind of thing, but nope. It's like a Arlington version of Uber, you know?
Wow. But
Arlington's going to get automated cars pretty soon.
Yeah. I work in the parking lot where they test them.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been in them. That's some fascinating technology. If you ever get in a car that drives itself, that's some fascinating technology. Matter of fact, when me and Mahogany went to Portland a couple weeks ago, we ended up renting one of those 2019 Kias. And those things drive themselves, dude.
No shit.
It was crazy, but yeah, it's just that technology is coming, man. I can see that technology coming real quick. And that's what I always said, man. It seems like Uber, Turo is more safe than Airbnb because you can't really put no restrictions on somebody renting out their car. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of, man, it's definitely a safer route, I would say.
Well, that was Austin's argument, was that people can't be driving other people because they're not licensed and they haven't been background checked. And that's why they didn't allow Uber. That's why they didn't allow Lyft. I don't know if they do now.
They do.
They do?
Yeah.
Because for a while there, they didn't allow any of them.
Yeah. That's just how Austin is, man. I don't know why Austin's like that. Austin fought every piece of the share economy that came down there. Uber, Lyft, Airbnb. They still fighting Airbnb. But yeah, Uber and Lyft was, I don't know. They let them back in, but yeah, I didn't get that. But their Uber and Lyft is very similar to what it was in Chicago. Like you have like the carpools, you have the like the taxis can actually list on there. So yeah. Very similar to what was going on in Chicago. Nice.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. You always have some good stuff.
Thanks, man. Yours is all right too. So when I was saying, about deadlines, that really motivates us.
Yeah.
And we've heard the expression. You've heard the expression "burn the ships." You've heard that?
Burn the ships?
Burn the ships. It talks about this, let's just say these Spanish conquerors that landed on this place, and they said, we're going to take this land, and we're going to make it ours. And they land there on their wooden boats and stuff, and to make sure y'all are going to fight with everything you got, I'm gonna have them set the fire to all these boats, so there's no retreat. There's no retreat. We're gonna win or nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's what they call burn the boats, burn the ships. Anyways, I don't know if it ever happened in history, but a lot of entrepreneurs quote that shit.
Yeah.
And so when I found, of course, I did the pre-approval process when I was looking for houses, and when I found this one, man, I didn't have the ready funds to close on it, right?
Oh, snap.
I have my investments, which I could tap into if I need to, like a 401k.
Yeah.
I got some other like insurance thing that I can tap into.
Mm-hmm.
But my goal was, and I showed all this stuff to the banks, and it was my backup plan in case push come to shove, I don't have to dip into it. I didn't want to, but I showed the banks and said, okay, cool, you got you're approved. Let's go through the process. You're gonna need this much money by this date, the closing date, which is like a month or a month and a half away. And I was like, all right. how am I going to get that money?
I like how you did that, though. You went up there not having it. Then you know you had to find a way to hustle. You had to grind for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they say, poor people ask or say why they can't do something.
Yeah.
Rich people or rich-minded people say, how can I
afford this?
And so I said, all right, I know the date I got to have the money by. I know how much I got to have. I got to get that money.
You got to get that paper. For real.
So I started Airbnb the hell out of the house. I started, and I put it up for long term. And then I got that renter. She came through. She gave me right away. She said, I want to give you the deposit now. And I want to give you first months now. Boom, boom. I was already halfway there just with that.
Yeah.
And then whatchamacallit? Here comes some other stuff happened. I was working a lot of overtime too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like money kept finding me.
Yeah.
Money just kept finding me.
Yep.
Because I said I need this much money by this date, and it just kept coming at me. And I was making good money, and then
let me tell you something. Whatever you put out in the universe will come find you. That I 100% believe. Whatever you put out there, it will come find you.
That's crazy, man. It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the dead truth. Whatever you put out there, it will come find you.
Because I didn't have the funds readily available. And so all of a sudden I said, I need to get this much money by this date. I started busting out the overtime. I forgot what else I did, but anyways, just like I said, money kept finding me.
Yeah.
She gave me the money for the first months and this month, and then I started killing it. All of a sudden, my Airbnb started going into overdrive, and I was making chunks of money.
Yeah.
And then plus the corporate renters came through, and they gave me a check for they gave me $1,000 deposit plus for that partial half month, you know, which is like $1,700 there.
Yeah.
I had way more than enough money all of a sudden. I went from not having enough, you know, to I thought I'd have to somewhere find 5 or 6 G's, you know, just to be able to close or more. So all of a sudden I had enough. Plus, when it came down to crunch time, you know, when you do a closing, the bank gives you like kind of a little bit inflated numbers. That inflated number went all the way down from like, I was thinking I was going to put like closer to 7,000 down that day. It went all the way down to like 4,000 something.
Man.
And so not only did I find the money I needed to close, I found like double what I was needing to close. I've coming off not having any money to close or the sufficient funds unless I dipped into retirement stuff.
Yeah. I won't do that.
I didn't have to touch my 401k.
That's
I didn't have to touch my, you know, insurance plan or stuff like that, you know. And it's like, yeah, man, you put it out there and it gets you and it comes to you. That's pretty neat, you know. I was like,
that's dope.
I'm gonna find a way to do this. I don't know how. I ain't gonna ask my parents for money. They ain't gonna give me shit.
They ain't gonna give me shit. For real. That's dope.
But
that's real dope.
You just you put it out there and it'll come at you.
You know what? I'm gonna actually do that, man. Because I've been waiting for like the refi process to be done, and it's gonna really take me a while to find a house because I'm trying to get one built. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and start looking at some lots right now. Just go ahead and have everything ready. Close on it. You know what I'm saying? If the refi money ain't there, who cares? Figure out another way.
Figure it out, right?
For real, man. That's real talk.
Burn the ships, baby.
Straight up. Burn the ships. I like that one.
I think that's a good stopping point. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a good stopping point. We had some good stuff. Remember, burn the ships. We should have named that the episode.
Yeah,
burn
we might.
The ships.
When we do the podcast, we might retitle it that.
Yeah, burn the ships. Yeah.
But we hope we're helping out in our own special way. You know, we get on here and we bullshit and we have fun, and we're not looking for nuts and bolts. You know, go read a book, but. But hopefully we inspire you, give you the gist of how to do things, how we're doing things anyways.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows? We might not be doing it the exact perfect way, but we're finding a way to do it, you know?
Yeah, we hustling.
And we like the fact that you are listening and supporting the show. We think that's real cool. And we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. Hit us up at liveletthrive@gmail.com. Man, we getting a lot of questions. Oh, we should talk about our boy from New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, he was asking about...
Going underground, wasn't he?
He was asking about going underground.
It's going to be hard to do in New Orleans. That's all I got to say. If that permit run out, you done.
Yeah, we'll title the next show "The Real Underground Show" because we're gonna have some underground people on here.
Definitely.
And
But hit us up. liveletthrive@gmail.com. Follow our Facebook page. You can join our fan group page. Follow us on Instagram.
No, phone number too, don't we?
Yeah. We got.
You forgot it. If you look at the show notes, I always leave my phone number on the show notes. I have a phone number too you can use. but I put mine on the show notes, and then the best way is the Gmail. Hit us up on Gmail. liveletthrive@gmail.com. We answer that shit. And
I just changed our phone number actually because I switched over to Google Voice. So yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, there was another dude I was supposed to give a shout out to.
Mike Buxick.
What was his question?
I don't know. I just seen him in your notes. I didn't know who.
But he said he was a fan of the show, and so I said I would give you out a shout. Mike Buxick.
I hope I didn't butcher your name.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. These guys. He goes, I'm new as Mike Buxick, Buczek. He said, I'm new to the podcast, but I have really enjoyed the half dozen or so episodes I've listened to. You and Myka do a great job. And I said, hey, man, thanks. That means a lot to us. We're going to give you a shout out on the show. And so, yeah, man, that keeps us going.
Yeah. Straight up consistency, man. That keeps us consistent.
So get out there, get that money, get to investing, do your hustle, and as long as you're putting all your effort into it, man, you can't fail.
Yeah, keep living, letting, and thriving.
Thriving, baby.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.